Again, waiting a couple more people to come in. I thank you. Appreciate you guys so much for last week skipping. I'm still crunching. I'm doing some Magic the Gathering cards that are due this week. So I'm crunching pretty hard and I'm gonna join that as soon as we get off the class today. So yeah, it's deadlines. It's deadlines week. Besides that, I was gonna say yeah, thanks for last week for understanding. And I don't have a specific demo prepared today, but I've got some new art materials that I've been wanting to test out for drawings. So I was thinking that maybe I'm gonna pull those out, and if we have time, I wanna do the homework that you guys did last week, and I'm gonna do it testing out these new type of pencils. They're like it's very interesting. Sorry about the noise for the pen paper. Let me show you. I'm really excited to try it. So I've been sketching lately with flat pencils, and I really love them. And they were completely sold out, and I really want them. And they're crazy for the shipping for it. So I went to the store, and they were sold out. So I have to buy them online. But in the meantime, because I want some flat pencils, I got they had these guys, and I thought they were like really cool. And I never tried them before. And I was thinking today on our demo, we are gonna probably do this guy. We're gonna do this little cat over here, which I already tried. I already started it, and we're gonna render him out with the new pencils that I got, utilizing these these flat pencils, and we can go over some like techniques about mark making, or I might pick one of the other pet portraits and you guys get to vote which one you want to do. If you want to do the cats, the dogs, maybe we can do that for voting. We got Pen over here. We got a little assistant. And so a couple more fillers in, since I mentioned also last week. My mentorship are started now. You can check them out online. I have 5 spots left available for the mentorship. And if you have any difficulties checking out, let me fix the camera. Just contact Dustin if you have any problems checking out. And if it's your first time here or you seeing this on YouTube, my mentorships are to focus on whatever projects you want to work on the moment. Either I see where you're at, and then we choose what I think is your next step, or you tell me where you want to be and show me references or your goals or things where you want to be, and then I'll work with you to deconstruct it backwards and how to help you to get there, and we can make projects together. I meet 4 times a week with you, and I also answer online on here in the room. And I forgot what I was gonna say. You have unlimited critiques and all of that. And we have 2 groups right now, do 2 different times, and but we can change times, whatever works best for everybody. And also, if the yeah, 4 times a month. I'm sorry, and if the month have 5 weeks, and then we meet 5 weeks that month. On the other hand, I don't know, Dustin, is his 6 weeks course up yet? Is that ready to go or no? I'm not sure if it's online yet. So let me wait until Dustin answers. Yeah, my 6 weeks foundations, my 6 weeks foundation fundamental course. Oh, okay. We can talk after this meeting if you're free. Okay. Well, soon I have my 6 weeks fundamentals class that will have a project, and these things that I was teaching on the first class as the fundamentals, we're gonna go through all of that in more detail and work with you one-on-one, and we're doing projects for 6 weeks. I think we're in the process to check them out online, but that's coming up soon. So for now, I'm only have the mentorships, which I think is cheaper, or is the same price. I think it's like 250 or 250 or 275. I think it's like that a month. So all right, we have enough people here, so let's get going classes. Again, I'm crunching, so I did not finish preparing my file like I always do for you guys. So we're gonna go one by one from the homework chat. Oh, hi, Vivi. Welcome, join us. And all the new peeps. And Danny's also here. One of my mentees is here, so I'm happy to see you. Alrighty, let's get started. Yeah, we teach. It's Vivi's first time in here. I met her online. We make these little rooms app, which we love. We make miniature little rooms. We're obsessed with. And again, for the people that don't know, and it's the first time here, we teach, or here in the academy, we teach once a week a free art class with different teachers. Pete teaches one, I teach one, Ashes teaches another one, and mine is on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we do 1 hour of free art classes, and I give assignments, and we critique them the week after. And we all grow together. Yay. All right, enough intro stuff. Let me get going. All right, who we got first? We got Kay. Nice to meet you, Kay. Thanks for joining us. Let me see. I know I'll have to take a time to read these things that you guys posted. But for now, let me see what you say. Kay's my first homework here. I'm extremely late, so please forgive me. Don't worry. Alrighty. So let's start with Kay. So last week's assignment was a little mix. It was like a combination of the assignment we did the weeks prior, which this is a good example here. We did the value studies. We did the value studies of these guys. I put some references, and it was trying to make sure that we got the values correctly, matching as much as we could. And then for this week's assignment, it was about mark making and doing more traditional drawings. So it's how will you approach creating values and shading with mark making or cross hatching or whatever you like, whatever style you like to render with. And I set up this assignment so I can see where you guys are at, to get an idea of where you guys are at with your mark making or rendering, cross hatching, whatever type of technique. And then I was going to decide from there which type of assignment or where we go from there, gathering where you guys are at. So the first person we have today is Kay. And I think I'm going to call you Kay because that's what I see on your thing. And this is the reference image, and this is what was submitted. And let me get my notes up. Alrighty. So this is really lovely, Kay. I'm glad that you're joining us, so this is your first homework. This is really lovely. This is very soft. My first thought is like very soft mark making, really beautiful. I really like how you handle this area, that you didn't get lost on the details. And your mark making is very soft. It's very beautiful. Proportion wise, I like that you keep the proportions really close and that you got the values really close, that your photo is very high key. Let me see, maybe it's too blown out. Maybe it's too dark. Let me see if I make it a little bit darker so we can all see it better. Yeah, that's about right. Now I can see more the little extra details you added that I couldn't see before because the photo was blown out. So let me see. So that's the good. The good is your proportions are good. Your high key and values are good. Your mark making is very beautiful, very soft. I can see that's very controlled. I assume you have done this before. And now, what we always say every week, how can we do this better? Speaking about every week, I forgot you guys to post the little start board that I promised I was going to put around here on and off. I forgot it. I got to make a note to remember to make it. So let's say what we say every week. How can we make this better? So my first thing that pops in my head is, even though this homework was about rendering, mark making, and values, we're still building up from all these things from before, all these things we have learned before. And this one will be about scaling and proportions comparison. So like to give you an example, that little trick I will, for me this drawing to go, okay, for me to make this drawing from an 8, I'm sorry, for like a 9 to a 10, it will be check your proportions. And now this little trick I taught before is to make these type of lines and see where you're at with comparison. That's pretty good. Then let's see the little tip of the nose, if we were to see the little tip of the ear and then your little tip of the ear. That's pretty close. In the reference, the eye is a little bit more out and yours is a little bit more in, but again, this is just nitpicking. Again, we're nitpicking right now. We're going from a 9 to a 10. And I will say that this horse head is kind of in this angle. Yours is a little bit more, I will say. Or like the end of that ear and the end of this ear. Yeah, it's like yours is a little bit more elongated and this is a little bit more high. So if I were to say this is like the shape, yeah, yours just comes out a little bit more. Again, I'm just nitpicking here. So it just will be the angle. And that I think this head, this area is a little bit bigger. I will say yours will have to be a little bit more like here and then go down. Because I see what you did here, by the way. I completely see that you trying to get this angle that we're here. You just exaggerate a little bit more. But again, super nitpicking because we're going for photorealism here. If it's stylization, then it's not a problem. And yeah, this little head is bigger than that one. Besides that, yours is a little bit longer and he's a little bit more squishy. So I will say if I were to make everything into a box, you will see what I mean. I don't know if you can tell that this one is much wider. It's like a little bit like 10, 15% much wider. Again, we're just nitpicking here. And when it comes to the rendering of the shading of the values, I think it's because it's the photo. I'm not sure if that's actually how you render it. I will push some values a little bit more. So when you squint, I'm gonna make it very little, since you guys cannot squint, or you can, I'm not sure. I'm gonna make it smaller like this so we can all see it together. If you see in general, this area is like, here it's like a little bit darker. So I would make this a little bit darker. I have a gray pen with low opacity, so I can start rebuilding on it. So I will make that a little bit darker. I will make this little bit overall. If you see, there is kind of, when you squint, there's almost like a shape here of darkness. I feel like here is missing a little bit. So I would make that a little bit darker too. Push those values a little bit more. And same with here. Just exaggerate a little bit more. And I feel like that's about it. I mean, you have it. I think that's about it. I mean, it's pretty great. So awesome, Kay. Thank you so much for joining us this week for homework. This is great. Again, 9, you get a gold star. I want to put you on the board. If you join us next week, it should be there. I've been saying that for 3 weeks, and 3 weeks I keep forgetting. But I'm making the little board with the little gold stars for everybody. It's accumulating their little gold stars. You know, I was thinking about it. And once I make the little board, I was saying like once you make it to 5 stars, you get the official star on your name as a badge. But I've been meaning to send it to Hegel. I have not forgotten that I was going to send her a sticker. I'm thinking once you get to guys 5 stars, if you guys send me a DM me your address or I contact you, I want to send people stickers. Send you guys stickers of like, thank you. Like, good job. This is awesome. Thanks for joining my class. Alrighty, who do we have next? Will be. I was thinking if I should make a little sticker specifically for this class. Like, I mean, the stickers that I have is of my personal art. I think you guys can choose of the options that we got. But let me see. Like, actually, here you go, Dark. I am gonna ask you to make a poll for me. You wanna make a poll for me, Dark? And it will be if you guys want my original stickers, or if you guys want original stickers that I'll make specifically for this class, or if you want it specifically for this class, or if you want me to make a brand new sticker just for our class. That's like the sticker for our class. So this is my original artwork. So you get to have baby unicorn, which is actually a little baby calf unicorn. We got alligator Loki. This one's transparent. So my sphinxes. We got the bug. We got a holographic moth, baby deers. This one's sold out. I gotta order more. It's actually one of my favorite ones, a big unicorn. And bigger moth and more of that. More baby deers. So my question will be, do I make a brand new stickers theme for our class with the gold star and something cool, maybe like a cat with gold stars or something, or my representation of the gold star, or you guys want to be able to pick of something that I already have? That will be the question poll. Alrighty. Let's go to the next person on our class. I promise I'm gonna try to have this ready next week. So next person is Hegel. Hegel, is this your puppy? I always keep seeing this puppy in all of your homeworks. So is this little I don't know if it's a border collie mixed with collie? Is this your puppy? Because I keep seeing it. He's your puppy? She's a Sheltie. Oh, I love those. They're so cute. I saw so many of them in this weekend at the art show I was at. I had a booth, and on my booth, I put a little water station for the doggies, so they can all come to my booth, and I can pet them all. I'm just making this a little bit brighter so it's easier to understand what's going on. Alrighty, so we got Hegel here. Will it not be too much additional work for you to make stickers for us specifically? I don't think so. I think I'm finishing with my deadlines this week, and next week I think I can have fun and take me a day. Thank you, Dustin. That's so funny. You guys, Dustin posted my photo from Instagram. You guys see me snatching all the poppers, all little puppies, on my booth. I was gonna say that I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Forgot what I was talking about, guys. Okay, well, let's just go into critique. Okay, Hugo, your puppy is so cute. I like your mark making. I see how you have progressed before. You know what? Now that I see this right here, this is what the tutorial we're gonna do today. We're gonna do line work with depth. I gotta remember that. That's what we're gonna do. Let me do that today. Demo with line work, thick and thin, and depth. That's what the demo we're gonna do today in the homework. Okay. I like that you've been practicing the things that we have. I think you've been practicing what we have done before, Hegel. That Yeah, look at you. Oh, hell yeah. Look at her keeping her proportions down. That's what I love to see. Look at that. Have you been doing this technique, Higo? Like, have you been doing this technique that we learned? Have you been doing that? That we do the, that we have been doing the, yeah, they're on point. Good job, Higo. I'm curious if the scenes that we have worked on before, like, that you've, yeah, all of them are on point. Hell yeah. So how will I make this better? No, how we are gonna make this better. The first one will be this triangle of the head. I was using the grid. I took a picture and blurred the grid. Nice. That's a great technique. So I will say the angle of the head is more like here. Yours is a little bit more higher. So let me see if I do the little tip nostril of the eye. Let me see. No, yours is pretty close. Yours is just a little bit higher, but not that much. The end of the nose. Yeah, no, you're pretty on point. I would just say maybe the head is a little bit more here. Like just a little bit lower. That's all. Second, let's see. Yeah, I like that you started doing your mark making. Okay, now that I look at this, that's going to give me another idea of the demos that we're going to do today. So I know hair edges. Oh, how to. Alrighty. Then we're going to go over this today about how to do a little bit of fur on the edges. I like that you're doing the cross hatching here. I like that you're trying to keep your values with that. Values wise, yours is pretty good. It's pretty spot on. I will say when you squint, what is this? My shirt keeps getting attached here. When you squint, your values, this area should be lighter because your darkest the nose and the eye, and then this area. So in yours, this is competing with this, but when you squint, this is much lighter than that. So I will just grab the eraser or just go with like making it a little bit light. I'm just going up with opacity on top. And then you have to have a little bit lighter here. And don't forget that bounce light. Don't forget that bounce light that we got over here. I will just take a little bit of eraser like that. But this is pretty good. And then there's also a little bit of darkness. There's also a little bit of darkness here. Not too much, but there is. And just because you don't see it there, maybe you can do a little bit of like artistic license and just add a little bit of shade there. Just so you know that I can barely see on the photo, but it's a little bit there. So it feels like not completely flat. So you have the lighting, you know that the sun hits it, and then the shape goes like this. So we got the highlight here, and then you got the shadow here. And another thing of how to do better. Well, this photo is very stiff. I was gonna tell you about how to remember that we've been doing gestures to see if you could exaggerate a little bit the gesture more. But this is just it's a very stiff photo from the angle. So I think you did a great job with what you got. And always add that little highlight in the eyes, what brings them to life. Look at that. That's what brings them to life. Good job, Hugo. All right, next person will be, I'm trying to get fast so we can get to the homework, but I don't think a lot of people submitted stuff today for this. Oh, this is beautiful. Dark. Dark is next and is gorgeous. I feel like a Valley girl saying that when they do that throat thing. Gorgeous. Alrighty. So we got dark. Well, your best is pretty amazing dark. Okay. Let's see. First off, cross-hatching, gorgeous. If you guys can see it, beautiful craftsmanship. Gorgeous craftsmanship, dark. Great job. Beautiful. I like, I'm making more notes. Hold on. I'm making notes for the class. Okay. I really like that you followed, which is part of what we're going to be doing today. It's following your cross hatching follows the shape of the body. Yeah, like it follows the shape of the body. Again, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, think about it like a 3D mesh or like a 3D animal. So it's like it follows the anatomy, like this new anatomy follows the volume of the shape, the different planes. It follows the planes of it. So it's doing the cross hatching. It's doing the cross hatching to follow that. So this is very beautiful. I really like how you got all these details down. The values are great. Your values are there. Let me make it tiny. Actually, let's do the good old trick of making this grayscale so we can check on the values. So I'm looking there. This is already, again, this is a 9, just making it into a 10. Actually, this is 10, but just to make it into a 11, I guess. Is, again, this is already very high key. I would just push this a little bit darker there. I'm exaggerating with the color just so you guys can see it. But I will add a little darker terminator. And I will darken that terminator there. And maybe make this one a little bit darker. And make the eye darker. And by the way, this is beautiful. I don't know if can you guys see this? Look at that spotlight there, the little shine and the little detail of the nose. And this is gorgeous dark. This is beautiful. I feel like is this traditional or digital? This looks digital. Yeah, it's digital. Okay. I was gonna tell you if this is like a drawing, like this is easily sells. I will say maybe darken a little bit here too. Just a little bit more. Again, this is very exaggerated. Maybe if I make it lower, you'll see what I mean. About there. No, it's too much. Yeah, about there. A little bit more. Not too much. Also, I think you have it there, but just a little bit more. Like exaggerate this little terminator a bit more. And I guess in other words, just make all your darkers a bit darker. That's about it. Just make your darkers a little bit darker. So it looks kind of like that. Can you see the difference? How about that? But that's so to make it darker doesn't mean to add more lines or more concentrated. There is 2 ways, which let me add it to the note. How we're gonna do it. I want to answer all of this stuff as we go on the demo. How to make areas more dark. Okay. The short answer is 2 ways. And well, there's different ways, but the way I approach it is 2 ways. Either get a pencil that has a pencil that has a softer lead that's darker, So the pen is natural darker. If it's digital, I'll do thicker thickness lines. 3 is add more lines. So I guess there's like these 3 ways I will approach it, and I will show it on the demo. So this is great. Fantastic job. 10, 11, gold start. That's what we're going to do on the demo. Let me see. Thick and thin. Oh, I already wrote it down. Okay. So next person will be, we got Kay. You posted another one. You made 2K. That's awesome. Let me go back to UK. Let me go back, Kay, back to your audience since you already saw one of yours. Let me go to the next person and I will come back to yours again. So everybody gets a shot at one. This is really cute. Alrighty. So this is the little guy we got here. Okay. Let me go ahead and make him gray. Sorry it's taking me so long, you guys. I got distracted. Okie dokie. This is really cute. I really like how like you were following the lines of the lines of their body, of their mark making with your line work. That's really cool. That's a great way of going about it. Your proportions are pretty good. That's really cute. Yeah, your proportions are pretty good. It needs some working, like with this technique from before, you know, of like where they're at. So his little paw is right in the middle, and yours is like right like here, where the paw ends. Let's see this little ear. Yeah, yours is a little bit more in the middle. So overall, it's like yours is more here, and then the more towards the middle, and the reference is more out. That's when we have to, but that's when we take in consideration, or we do what we did with the gesture drawings some weeks before. It will be to maybe that will help. That will help more with your the feeling of it. But overall, it's really cute. I like I noticed that you try to keep in one direction with your rendering. Like everything is in one direction, as I can see. And then a few here and there you switch the directions. I'm just trying to analyze and see how you I'm trying to see overall how is your thinking behind it, so I know what to tell you about it. This is really cute. I like that you kept its face in the eye. The eye looks really adorable. Okay, so how will make this better? I would yeah, that's super fast for an hour. I will say go back to your values, and so just trying to make things, all of this is darker. Overall, he's just much darker, I will say. Yeah, I will just make him a little bit darker. That would be my first thought, to just go back and work on the values. Hatching makes your brain explode. I understand. Same. It takes time, but I'm gonna do a quick demo, so that should help out for next round. So I will say how to make this better. Yes, match the values more and follow the technique that I'm going to teach on the demo today, which is we are going to follow when you are rendering, we're going to follow the shape of their bodies for you to render. And that is definitely going to help you. So that's going to help out when we render. But this is really, really, really cute. Good job. I can also see all the work that, even though this is in an hour, I can see all the work that you did on cross-hatching your heart out. Okay. Let's see, the next person is Suji. This is beautiful, Suji. Jeez whiz. So we got Suji over here. This is really pretty. This is so cute. Your proportions are pretty good too. Even though some of these things are off, like the scale proportions, I don't care. Yours looks like stylized, and it just reads good. So like a example, like the paw is doing this, and yours more like down. Or let me see where the middle of the nose. When we do that line, the middle of the nose. His is in the middle of the paw. Yours is at the end of the paw. So again, it's just your emojis are so funny. You're killing me. And when we're doing gestures the previous week, even that I know that he's like standing pretty stiff, this is a point of gravity, there's still like a little up, like he's like, huh? Like he's like curious. And yours is more like pump, kind of like a prairie dog. So I will just exaggerate a little bit more I will exaggerate a little bit more of the gesture, I will say. But that's an easy fix. Like if I just take the head and I'll just move it where it's supposed to be like around here. Because like if the middle of this is the center weight and you go up, center weight, you go up. So maybe not so much. Let me see. This is the middle. This is the middle. Yeah. I mean, I will just like move the head a little bit more. Yeah, about there. And that will already give you a little bit more of that shape that we're talking about, the gesture drawing. So let's go talk about the rendering. The rendering is very beautiful. Good job. I really like how you interpreted the fur. And one of the lighting class, one of the demos for lighting before, I was explaining that when we go, here is the whip. That is really cute. His face. Get out, Coca-Cola. This is the new mascot, this little sketch. That's so adorable. When I say one of the lighting classes, one of the lighting demos we did, and we went over lighting, I told you guys that when we transition from light to darkness during this medium areas, for like the Terminator will be, or the in the middle, in between shade, is where all the sorry, I'm getting distracted in the comments. You guys are so funny. So in this area is where the magic happens, is where usually you get to show textures, materials. That's usually what it will show. So the way that you rendered the fur here, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but It came out beautifully because it's doing that. It's showing what the material is in the right place. Same here. It's telling you that this is fur. It doesn't know what the material is right at the transition. So that's great. Then overall, I will say how to make this better. Again, this is really pretty. Again, this is a 9. We're just going for the 10, that little extra thing. But again, yours is stylized, so I think it's really cute. And so how we'll make this from a 9 to a 10 or from a 10 to an 11, it will be match your values a little bit more. This whole thing is a little bit darker than where you have it. I will make this little area darker. He has a little darker on the tummy here. A little bit darker here. This is a little bit darker. And underneath the head. And then you have this right here, which is to show you, to show you that this is the front and this is on the back. So you see the highlight here, and this is darker. So that will be like push that back and then push this a little bit back. And then we have the shadow of the shadow of the leg. So I will add that there too. And the entire face has this shadow on half of it, and make those ears darker. So this was before and this is after, but it's really dark, so let me push a little bit less. Does that make sense? Well, I need to take this out because there is more. You still have light here, there's light here, there's light there. You have that. You can open this more. You have that there. The little tummy. But overall, I will say that is so funny. Did you just make that into an emoji for the class? I love that. Can we save it, Dustin? I love that. Yeah, can we make it into a sticker? It's killing me. I love that. So yes, this is how we'll make it from a 10 to 11. Just match the values, push the values a little bit more. I hope this, that's really freaking funny. I hope this helps you, but great job. Beautiful craftsmanship, beautiful details. Really like how you did some of the treatments. Like these little treatments are very nice. And even like the little nose, very cute. Another thing also that I just look at it that might help you with the lighting is you want to give a feeling that this is coming towards you. That's in a different plane. Yours still feels a little bit flat. Like when I look at it, I could not tell the difference between this is in a different plane than this. It just feels flat, if you know what I mean. Here you can still see a little bit that's going forward. So I would make sure that you have those planes and like being able to push it forward a little bit more so it reads a little bit better. That's in a different plane. And again, you can also do a little bit of artistic license, so you can like push it a little bit more than what is actually shown in the photo. So it feels like this is in a different plane. Awesome. So we are good to go. Let's see who's next. Oh my God, we're running out of time and I'm trying to get to everybody. It's okay, like always. If I went over, I went over. If you guys can stick around, I'll look at it on the YouTube later. I want to make sure I got through all of it. We got Mossy Rock. What? This is so cool, Mossy Rock. It's pretty dope. We went more the cell shading style. You're welcome, Suji. So here we go, Mossy Rock. I cannot remember if was it Mossy Rock or Godslayer that we were talking about last week about doing cell shading rendering. I remember we talked about 2 weeks ago. They were like, oh, if you have a hard time cross-hatching or something like that. It was you, Godslayer? Okay. Because I was going to say this is an example of that. I wish you guys could see Pan. He's sleeping so cute. So this is a good example of, I think, of how it's rendering with the cell shading style, since you don't like blending. And I think this is a really cool style of shading and capturing the lighting. I really like how you did all the terminators, so like the darkest darks is really cool. Oh my God, Dustin, I can't. That's amazing. All right, so we're gonna have to make a vote or a poll of like, what does this sticker mean? Like awkward? Like, what does this sticker mean? Is it kind of like, yes, keep talking, or this person say that, or this is my life now? Like, what is this? What does this mean? It's like, is this my life now? Or like, I'm stuck here, send help. I'm so happy to be here. Yes. Oh yes, he has the face of that old man meme. You know the old man meme with the beard that he's just like smiling, but he's in internal pain. That's what I feel like it's like. That's so freaking funny. Okay, going back to the review. So yes, that Vivi, that's the polar bear right now. That's the polar bear. I'm so happy to be here. That's hilarious. Oh man. All right, I'm back to the review. So I like what you did here, Master Rock. I wanted to ask you, Master Rock, is this the first time you do this type of rendering, or you've done it before? I think I see what you did here and I like it. I like that you follow the shape, that you, especially here, this is really cool here, that you follow the shape that is following, that you got that. Yeah, this is cool. First time, this is awesome. This is really great for first time. So on that note, I think we can do some things to push it a little bit more, to push this style that you already have, which is, I'm seeing where are you deciding to add the darkest, like what's black. And I see that it's mainly on the Terminator. And I feel like we can push it a little bit more. Also, I'm trying to figure out when do you decide to use the skinny lines and where you're deciding to use the thick lines, which is one of the demos we're going to do. So, example, like here, like this, and you just go like that. I will like make it follow that shape. I'm trying to think, because I don't render like this. I'm trying to think, how would I go around it? In general, my first thing is like, I would just keep all of this in black and do the parts that are darker. I will make a combination of this. So if we were to do this area here, and since you're actually utilizing little lines, there's nothing stopping you from, let's say, make that entire area like that. And wait, I forgot it has to be a full opacity for this technique. Like fill it in completely with the lines on top of doing the dark area. So like, I'm trying to think what other area, like example here, you can still have these black areas that you have, but then fill it in with more lines. So this is your grayscale. This will be your scale. This is black, and the closer they are, that is how you will do, that's how you control your darkness, like this. So if we wanted to make, let's say, this entire area that's pretty dark over here, you can still have this solid, but then the lines in between them are smaller. There's less space in between them. And then you can have that dark there, but then, yeah, all this space is much smaller between them, but then here is a little less dark. So you can have more space in between. Same, let's tackle this one to show an example. Let's say you want to keep this area solid, because that's your terminator, but it gets darker as we go to the top. So that's when the space in between them is less. And when it gets down here, is more wide. And that's how you control the shade. Let's see if I find another area that will be very obvious. This is a little bit tricky. You see, like here is darker and here is lighter. You could, I guess you could be like more, more tight, and then they get more apart. And then this is just gets very tight right here. There's almost like no space in between them. So, or like here from dark to lightness, you go dark and then to go to light. So that will be another way to control your shade, by doing this. Less space in between, more dark. More space in between is light. Yeah. And then, because when you're choosing values, you only have the darkest part as a terminator, but then when you look at it, there's some areas like all of this is really dark. So according to these rules, all of this should be really dark. Or like here, this is a good example. You want to make this really dark, but you don't want to make it completely flat black. So what you do is keep the distance between them tiny. Versus here is more in light. So we are going to keep the space between them higher. Do you see that? When you look at a small, you see like this is dark and that's light. But because it's, I think we can, because this area is even darker, I think, than the rest of the, it's still light darker than the rest of the body. There. And then it gets really dark over, when it gets really dark over, it gets really dark around here. Then you go back and making it very tight, like almost no space in between them. So even more, I will say. And that's how you do the shading. You see how now that looks like it goes from darkness to light, back to darkness into light. So this is one of the techniques for shading with cross-hatching, is the space you keep in between them. Good job, Maserak. This is great. Specifically if it's like this stylization is your first time. It's fantastic. Gold star. Okay. What we got next? I know I'm taking a lot of time with everybody today. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really trying to get to everybody. And this is God Slayer. So we got God Slayer over here. What is this guy saying here? Literally trying to do cross hatching. You're welcome, guys. You're killing me. Well, I have to tell you, first things first. I want to say that your gestural drawing is already improving. Do you do gesture drawing for this God Slayer? Because I think I can see the little red lines underneath. Yeah, I can already tell that it's helping you. I was expecting to see this much stiffer, like a statue, like your stuff from before, and I am already seeing the movement or the exaggeration of the gesture drawing. That's yeah, I'm very happy that I can see you're stacking up on that. The only a note that I will say is just, keep the proportions good moving forward, like what we always do, shake the edge of the eye. That's pretty good, actually. You're pretty much there. Let's see the end of this hand. It's pretty good. I will say that this hand is bigger though. I will say that just this one, because this is more like a foreshortening. He's like coming towards you, or this is not towards you, but this is closer to the camera. So this is much bigger. And here you have it tinier than even this hand. So I will say that this guy is about, it's about that. That's about, I will say it is. Can you see the difference? So I will say that's my first thought, the proportion on that. So for the cross hatching, I think you did a great job. I see that you tackled what's your dark. So you did the cross hatching mainly on your dark areas. Like what was the darkest dark? That's where you mainly did it. I will say to apply some of the techniques I'm about to explain on the demo. So we're not gonna get to the traditional stuff today. We'll do that next week. We're gonna go through some demo for cross hatching and stuff today. So yes, I see. I know yours is a lot more high key. I think to see really what's going on here, it will be good to have this on this way. That is definitely helping to really see what was happening here. So I can tell that yeah, so yeah, I can see this is good. That you tackle the hatching where it was the darkest areas. How will I make it better? I will say push it more. Like push your values more. When we squint, just push all of these little, just push it more. Push it real good. I feel like everything I'm saying is that's what she said. Oh, yeah. I will say keep all of this more in the shadow. Like push more the values overall. And then this guy is a little bit darker here too. Yeah, let's say push a little bit more with the push the values. But this is pretty good. Good job. Good job, Slayer. I also know this was hard for you because you do many more flatter stuff. And good job on the gesture. I see you growing with the gesture. That's looking really good. Your stuff having much movement than before. So we got Blitz. Hey Kay, if it's okay, because we're already over time, I'm not gonna do your second one. I'm gonna go directly to the demo. I don't want to keep people holding them. I know I said it was only gonna be, the class is an hour, and I don't want to hold people back. So after this, we'll do that. But I can give you a review on it on the I can do a review on it after and then put it on the chat. Okay, so we got Blitz. First we got America. Oh, classic. And I just realized that has a bald spot. That's really funny. What is it? You're killing me. I feel like this guy also has to be. Tell me that this does not have to be also a sticker. Like, nice job. I see what you did there. Look at that drawing. This is ridiculous. Thanks for the laugh. Okay. Where is the reference for this guy? I think it's not that one. I still think it's all the way over here. Here it is. Okay. So my first thought is to overall make it a little bit darker, like push your values a lot. The original one is too lighter, but that's okay. Again, we can do stylization here too. I like that you used the cross hatching in the direction of what's happening, and yeah, that you double down in the areas that has to be dark. The proportions are great. You get the proportions are pretty good. I see where you did the darks and the terminators. Pretty good. Oh crap. Overall, I will say, yeah, let's do like digital. Digital is very new to you. It's kind of handicapped. I completely understand. By the way, Blitz, if you want to do all this traditionally, you are welcome to always do it traditionally. Hegel does it traditionally. So I will say overall, push the values more, like what we did from last class before. Think of them like big shapes, like big chunky shapes. So I will say push the values more, like overall, and like this is really dark. And think about what I always talked before in the class before, like who's your darkest dark, and that's pretty much whatever's black, and go backward from there. And just keep adding and keep adding and keep adding, and then try not to. And you can use eraser to pick up if you want to. You can. You can erase if you want to, for sure. But yeah, I would just say push your values a little bit more, make it darker. But everything else, it looks really good. The cross hatching and all that looks really nice. It looks very clean. Okay. So I got lost in the started off playing scratching, wasn't sure how to do some spares. Okay. So now let me do some techniques. Let's go at it. Let's try to do some techniques on how to do cross hatching then. Let's do a demo. Let's do a quick demo. Let me see who I want to use for this. If I want to use the, I'm going to do the cat. I'm going to do this little kitty cat, and I'm going to change the values a little bit so we have a little bit more contrast, so you guys can see a little bit better what's going on once they're going for it. That's pretty good. He was only, yes, he was always the cat all along. So I am gonna do the hatching on green so you guys could see it better. I think maybe, or you think red is still good. What is it, Pan Pan? Yeah, red must still be good. So let's go different techniques. Okay. So the first thing I want you guys to think about is when it comes to line work, you have thick and then you have thin. Actually, let me change brush. What, Pam? I'm teaching. I wonder if you guys heard that. So when it comes to rendering, cross hatching and drawing, think about thick and thin, or dark and light when it comes to space and hierarchy. So if you have something going far away from the viewer, so I mean, if you have something close, let's say it's fully dark. I'm just gonna make it thicker so you guys see it. So this is closer to the viewer. Then this is like it goes far away. So that will be the first way to do it. So when thick and thin, to show you an example, how will that look like? It will look like this. Let's say it's called line weight, by the way. I don't think this is the best example of it, but you will, hopefully you'll see what I mean. This is kind of like what this will look like a shitty version of it because technical difficulties. So things are close to you, are thicker, and as they go away, they just become thinner. And this is like thicker and then becomes thinner. Let's say this is the little leg. I know there's no little leg there, but that's usually how it works. So things are more far away. It will be kind of like thick and thin, thick and thin. There we go, thick. And get skinny. Then this one's skinny because it's far away. But then this one's skinny. And because, then I want to explain what this also thick and thickness means. So it'll be kind of like that. So as you guys can see, I know, right, Dark? So as you can see, this is closer to you is thicker, and the ones that are farther away are thinner. So that's how you build the perspective. Another one is whatever the weight is, or whatever the shadow is, it's what's thicker. That will be another way. It's whatever the shadow is. That's another technique to doing it. So that's the first one. And then the other one will be with transparency. So it will be the same way. The same way will be, but with transparency. Transfer, is that what it is? Yes, thank you so much. That's what it was. Yep, that's the one. Thank you. I never have it like that because I always control it by hand. Okay, so another one it will be with transparency. What's closer to you? Let's keep doing this other guy. This guy is easier. What's closer to you? It's fully okay. What's closer to you is fully opaque, and as it goes away from you, it gets darker. So that's the other way. So you do a mixture of thick and thin, and also with weight. I mean, the transparency of it. So if I were to combine, that's when you have to decide how they go. I mean, that's what you have to decide how to choose it, when to do which. So I will probably make this dark and thick because this is what's closer to me. and this is in the light. That's another technique that we're going to talk about in a second. And then I want to start getting skinnier and lighter. So that will be another way. So just by looking at that, you know that this is closer to you and this is farther away from you, both because this is thickness and darker and this is thinner and farther away. So a combination of it will be, this is the thick to thin, and then dark to light. Go ahead, baby, question. Then the other way to do it is you control the thickness and the light and the thickness and the darkness of the opacity with light. How will that mean? When you're in darkness, it's thick and opaque. When you're in light, it's thin. So this wing will look something like this according to light. And then it's like that, and then it gets thicker there, and it gets thicker and thin, thick and thin, thick, thick. This is in the dark, and this is in the light. There we go. So can you guys also tell that you're controlling lighting that way? So wherever is dark is thick and solid, and wherever is light is thin. So how all these three techniques combine? They all have to come together. When you're looking at a picture and you're going to start rendering it, you pretty much have to like decide how to combine these three things. And when then you start cross-hatching, this matters. So, or just rendering in general. So example, this area, I don't know if to go to the next technique or just show you how this works. So let's say I will make this thick here because this is darker. And then I want to get more transparent as I go and thinner. But then this area will make it light. And then I will make this skinny. I will make this skinny and light. So this part will be more thick there, but then I will get skinnier here. Baby, I'm teaching. This is lighter, so I'll make it skinnier. This has weight, so I'll make it thicker. So I have two options, like here, example. I have two options. Pant alignment, please. So I have two options. I can do, the thick and thin, like this is where light is, dark is where it's dark. Or I can do the other way around. But if I choose this, you have to do it everywhere. Or I can do it the way that what's lighter is what's far away and skinnier. So that will be another way to do it, which is, this is far away. So this is the one that's skinny and lighter. My goodness, I hope you guys don't hear my cat. He's screaming at me. So it's kind of like that. So if you go more far away, you can make it faded away. It depends what you feel more comfortable. Personally, the way I like to do it is I only use the thick and thin for outlines. That's the way I do it. I only do the thick and thins of the weight. I choose to do it just on the outlines, like what's happening on the outlines. And that's usually how I choose to do it. You'll see what I mean. Usually this is how I do it. I do the thick and thin on, I just apply that to the outline. So this is heavy, this is the shadow, that's on weight. Get skinny, this is on weight, it's in shadow. Then this is less shadow, so it's less. And then, this one stays skinny because it's in light. And then stays skinny because in light, this is dark because it's in shadow, and this can stay there. And I like doing the darks. That's my preference. And then just start building on it. So if this is there, and then go your second round where the darkness is, and then go a third one, and then keep going. That's how you build it. Keep going over and over and over again. That's what she said. I'm kidding. So example, I want to show you what I meant earlier today about follow the structure. Follow the structure, no, follow the planes. So here, I want to show you what I mean. The easiest one is the wing. For example, how will you do this area? Well, I will put my dark, and then I will do that. Follow the plane, because this is doing this. You see what I mean? This is there, and then this is this direction, and then this is in that direction. So actually a better example for that will be the cat. So this plane is in this direction. Pant alignment, stop. That's there. This is doing this. This is doing that. That's doing this. Then this is in this direction. Then that's in that direction. This is in here. Back. So you want to follow the shape of what's happening you gotta follow the shape of your planes, because when you're cross-hatching and rendering, that's the way you want to build it. So how does that look in practice? Let's do this ear. We say this is more in the light, and it gets lower and gets thicker because hierarchy of the lines. Then, oh my goodness, 1 second. Get down. I am sorry, you guys. He's getting on my oils, and we don't want that. Oh yeah, for people that don't know him, This is Troublemaker Pantalaimon. He's a Kinkaloo, which is a round ear munchkin cat. And he's a bad boy right now. Yeah. I'm gonna show everybody how you're being troublemaker because I don't give you attention. Say bye-bye. He does that when he wants attention and I don't give it to him. He starts destroying things. So I was saying, how does this look like? So you start building in that direction. But then overall, this area is darker. So what do? I start going in the opposite direction there and filling it in. Or let me do this here. So, my thick and thin is not working much. But this will be a good way of doing it. Because you're going from dark to light. And you can use your erasers. And then you go. And then over here, just go like that. But then this area gotta get darker because it's in more shadow. Yeah, my thick and thin is not working. I don't know why. It's driving me insane, actually. That's not working correctly. So let's do this little guy and show you how this looks. So I will go make that area thicker, and then start building it. So like here, I will go in this direction. And then it gets softer and more far apart. That's what we talked about. So here it gets darker, so they're more in between. And more in between, and as they get away, they get more far apart. That way, that's how you show the lighting. And trying to always follow the form. Sometimes cross-hatching does not mean that you have to literally go in both directions. Sometimes it's just keep going in the same direction and just build the volume. So I go here thin and it gets thick to try to show that it's coming towards you. And this is also thick because it's in darkness. And it goes from thin to thick. And then that goes from thick to thin. It goes to thick to... No, let's go that from thin. And then we put some weight down here. And so example here, again, follow the form. And then it goes farther, when it gets farther away, when to light, do less in between. So go smaller. Dude, I gotta play with these settings. This is driving me crazy. So that's how you start building it. And when you want to make it darker, or if you want to make it darker overall, just grab this thin brush. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Here we go. And you can also fill it in the whole shape. This will be the whole shape in darkness. But then in this entire shape of darkness, make sure you follow like the whole shape of the body. But then inside of there, then we have these dark guys. So it's like, what's very interesting, it's like my thing is in the opposite direction. It's like I'm trying to get it from thick to thin, but it's like painting, like I have to paint backwards. I don't know what's wrong with my new settings. So you just like keep adding. Then keep adding, keep adding. That's better. So yeah, so that's pretty much how you start building it. Same here is, you know, make this thick line and then start working on the shape of it, that's the direction, and just keep adding. And you can always use the eraser too. Keep adding, keep adding. So example here. Now here, this is going to change in a different plane. So I can switch in that direction to keep making it darker. And then this determinator here, so you just add more. This is all darker, but then go in the opposite direction if you want to make that area darker. Then, but then it's in this direction. So make it darker by going in the direction. And that's kind of like how you start building it and practicing. I know what it is. It's like I forgot that I can rotate stuff. There we go. That makes it so much easier. Oh my God. You see what I'm talking about? It's like I want to do it in the opposite direction, but it won't let me. It's like I want to have to do it like this to get it thick and thin, that the brush is acting. So I guess I'm going to have to do it like this to get what I'm trying to do. There we go. So I hope does that make sense, you guys? How do you combine these three techniques together? Another thing I wanted to show was I remember I went over these, how to draw edges, follow the direction, how to make areas more dark. We already went over it, but it's just keep going over and over and over again with transparency if you want to. So another one will be the last one, and then we're done, since we actually went out a 2-hour class, is how to do the edges for hair. And this is when I remember that I pull out Hegel, I believe. And well, you also had it here. Here's Hegel. So I pulled this up to show you guys how to do edges. And this also comes with this thick and thin. So here, sometimes when you're doing the drawings, you just have to give the impression or the idea of what's happening, like an insinuation, and the brain does the rest for you. So instead of doing individual hairs, you gotta think of them as chunks and shapes. and trying to do things like this and follow the shape of the body. So something like that. Or down here, if this is what's happening, trying to make it like as a single unit. And then it fades. So you go from thick to thin. Or like on the chest, you make it thinner because why? Because we're in the light. Remember, when we're in the light, we make things lighter and skinnier. So this is, I'm doing like a really quick job so you guys know. But then here we have weight, so we make them thicker or darker. Or like here will be the shadow. I'm doing like a really crappy job, but it's just so you guys get the idea. Where is he go? So they will look something like that. And then you can come back later if you want and fix areas. So remember we talked about the outlines. It's usually where we do the, I do the thick and thin on the borders. And then they get thinner as they go into the light. And because this is the area in the light, we make them skinny. So slowly, if you see, we're starting to see this shape happening with the light. This is light and this is dark. So you have, again, so the way we do this is we control thickness, thinness, and transparency combined. So this looks 3D or like in this direction, not only because these ones are lighter and skinnier and it's a darker and thicker. It's like you combine them both. And then if I want to make everything even overall more 3D is I just get a little skinny pencil with opacity, and then you actually then with opacity, and then you actually go over the entire shape. So you have different things happening here. One is the individual shapes. Each one has its own little thing going on. Then you have the thin and thickness overall that you go from light to darkness, but then you have the overall shade of the whole figure. So you will go back and fill it in completely. On top of the stuff you did before. Or you can do what I do sometimes. I like to do is like, I just know this is my shape, which is, you know, like if I'm doing this area, sometimes I do the opposite. Like I know this is in dark, so I will hit and make it all dark. And then I come back, I go back and make it even darker. And then you take the eraser, and then you start pulling out the lights areas. You can also do that. So I hope that makes sense. Or like example here, the little tusk. You know, you will do things like this. So think of them as like individual shapes. I mean, individual shapes, not like full shapes. Uh-oh. Photoshop just crashed. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, Photoshop just crashed on me, which is very strange. I don't know why. I'm telling you, this new Photoshop is so unstable. But well, conclusion. I hope this demo helped, or I hope this makes sense for you guys, or how to apply the shading. So my homework for next week is I'm gonna post again other new animals, not the ones we done before. I kind of wanted to do the same ones we did last week, but we already overkilled those. So I'm gonna find some new ones, and I'm gonna post those, and we are gonna redo shading. I guess it's what Pinner. I know I'm working on 2019 because I hate the new one so much. Even the 2019 it keeps crashing. So I'm gonna do is post the new ones, and then we are gonna redo cross hatching and rendering, or just rendering with line work, with now you guys applying the new techniques that you learn. So, oh yes, what are the answers? Original split class. Okay, so you guys want existence stickers. All right, that makes it easier. I have plenty of them. Alrighty, you guys. I'm sorry if I forgot to answer any questions. Let me go back. If I want to give 5 minutes for Q&A. Let me see if go back, and I know some people have some questions. Maybe that's one thing we can also figure out with the moderators, I guess. If you guys can collect the questions that I missed during the chat and give them to me at the end, if they still matter. I'm not sure since I'm not reading. I have so much chat. I'm trying to find them, but I don't think I find them right now. I see what you're talking about, baby, about how the animals look in real life and how they look like versus 2D. Maybe that's something I can cover in the future too. Okay, awesome. What is that? Oh, no, dark answer. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much again, you guys. I still have to do some grinding tonight, so I'll probably post the assignment tomorrow, the day after. But I'd see if I have a little quick. I have a little quick. Time, and I post them. And then we'll go over it all next week then. And again, today's class was 2 hours long. Thanks everybody for hanging around. That's great. And okay, thank you guys. I appreciate you all. And see you all next week. Take care.